Good day, boys and girls, and welcome again to another session of Developing Number Sense. This morning we shall be continuing to work with the topic decimals. Alright? In past videos, we would have said that fractions based on tenths and hundredths can be placed on the place value chart. For example, if I had 0 holes, I had no holes, and I had 5 tenths. 5 tenths, we can write that as 5 tenths, or we say we can go to the place value chart, 100, tens, ones, and to the right of the ones column, there's a decimal point that is used to separate the wholes from the fractions, and there's a new column here that we call tenths, and we represent 5 tenths, 0 wholes, 5 tenths. Alright, so it is important that we remember, and we say that if we have fraction based on hundredths, for example 0.05, we would write this as 5 out of 100, 5 hundredths. 5 hundredths. So on the place value chart, we would have a new column called hundredths, and we would write that as 0 wholes, 0 tenths, and 5 hundredths. Right? So we get 0.05. Now this morning, we would like to continue the decimals, and we will look at a whole again, and we try to make sense of what we are doing. Okay, so we have a whole divided into 10 pieces. We call one piece 1/10. Alright, and let's shade 2 tenths on this side here. So we have 1/10 here and 2 tenths there. So 1/10 add 2 tenths, 1/10 add 2 tenths, and our denominators are the same. So we just add our numerators and we get 3 tenths. Now if we were to do that as a decimal, look at it. We have 0.1 add 2 tenths, 0.2. And 0.1 add 0.2 will give us 0.3. Now we can represent that vertically. Let's put it on a place value chart. We have tens, we have ones, we have tenths. So here we see we have 0.1, 0 wholes, and 1/10. Add 0 wholes and 2 tenths. Add 0 wholes and 2 tenths. So we can do it this way. This way we're adding horizontally, this way we're adding vertically. So 0 wholes, 1/10, 0 wholes and 2 tenths will give us, we add 1 and 2 is 3, 0. Okay, so when we are adding decimals or we are subtracting decimals, it is very simple. We just make sure we place them on a place value chart. In other words, we are putting ones under ones, tenths under tenths, and we are working. For example, if I had 4.6 add 0.95, look at that, 4.6 at 0.95. Okay, we make sure we set up our place value chart, 100, tens, ones. Alright, we have tenths and we have hundredths. Okay, so we have 4 ones and 6 tenths. 4 ones, point under point, 6 tenths. Add 0 wholes, 0 wholes, 9 tenths, and 5 hundredths. Now what you could possibly do, put in a 0 for a placeholder right here, just as a placeholder. Because you remember in a previous video I said 6 tenths is like saying 6 10 cents. And if you have 6 10 cents, you already have 60 cents. Alright, so you put your 0 as a placeholder there and you add. Alright, 6 and 9 is 15. Alright, and 4 and 1 is 5. Let's see what we added here. 0 hundredths and 5 hundredths, 5 hundredths, 6 tenths and 9 tenths will give us 15 tenths. And we know that 15 tenths is really 1 whole and 5 tenths. So we put our 5 here. And 4 wholes. And this one would give us, 4 and 1 is 5. 5, yeah, check over, right? 4 and 1 is 5. You always check over because we make mistakes, alright? So you just check over your work. Good. So this 4 holes and this 1 hole will be 5 holes. Alright. Similarly, when we are subtracting, just make sure and line it up. Tenths under tenths, hundredths under hundredths. Okay. So if I say take 2 from 6, how would you work that? If I say take 2 from 6, in other words, you put out 6 and you take 2. Yeah? So in other words, you are saying 6 take away 2 would give you 4. So similarly, I can say take 0.35 from 2. The same principle applies. Take 0.35 from 2. 2 take away 0.35. So the 0 comes under 0 holes, 0.35. And the whole idea of putting your placeholders come into being. Remember, a decimal point is understood at the right of the whole number. So 2.00. And you all know this, because sometimes you write $2 like this. $2, or you write it as $2. Yeah, same thing, same value. Yeah, right, because these are just placeholders to say, well, you have no 10 cents and no cents, right? Good. So we are looking at this. We are take 0.35 from 2. We set up our 2 here. 0.35. Remember, the point has to go under the point. The ones under ones, tenths under tenths, hundredths under hundredths. You line up your work and then you subtract. So 0 can't. So we go here, and you all know the drill, right? So 10 take away 5. 5, 9 take away 3 is 6, and we have 1.65. Alright, so this is a very, very easy way of looking at our decimals. So today we would have done addition and subtraction of decimals, and it is very, very important. Alright, for example, if I say a piece of ribbon 2.75 meters was cut off from we had a bigger piece, right? We have from a piece 12 meters. So think about that. You had a big piece of ribbon, 12 meters long, and we are cutting off 2.75 meters from this. How much remained? How much remained? How much is going to remain? So how would you work that? If you had a piece 12 meters and you took 2 meters, you know that you're going to have 10 meters left because you said 12 take away 2. Whereas it's the same principle when we are doing decimals. Alright? So it will be 12 meters take away 2.75. Now how do we set up our 2.75? Remember, ones under ones, point under point. Okay, so the point is understood here, so we put our point. And maybe that's a good start. Maybe you make sure you put your decimal point first. Alright, so the point is understood at the right of the whole number. So you put your decimal point here, so you put 2.75. All right, and again you put in your placeholders here, okay, and we subtract. 10 take away 5, 9 take away 7 is 2, all right, 11 take away 2 is 9, and you put your point. Where's the point going? Point on the point. Everything is well aligned. So you have to make sure, pay attention, and you put your digits under digits. Your ones must go under the ones. Look at it, it's well lined up. I do not want to see you writing like this, 12.00, and you put on 2.75, and you are working like that. This is not aligned. Okay, so make sure you line up your work properly. All right, so until then, I will send you an exercise to do, and you all enjoy.